Now, looking at the tactic itself, the Attaccante 4-3-3 by Vujevic. It is a 4-3-3, balance mentality in possession, standard attacking width with passing to space, underlap on the right and on the left with focus down the left and the right. This is pretty similar to the last tactic that I looked at as well, so shorter passing directness with a higher tempo, low crosses in the final third and run of the defence dribble style as well. In transition, counter press and counter with distribute quickly with roll it out distribution style also. Defensive shape, high line press of engagement with a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, prevent short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in and step up more as well. Interesting to see that gets the step up more. So we'll see what roles do we do have. A sweeper keeper on defend with more direct passes and tackle harder on as instructions. A fullback on the right and on the left, just both with tackle harder. Two ball playing defenders on defend with dribble more and to tackle harder. A roaming playmaker on support with moving to channels and tackle harder as additional instructions. Two centre midfielders on attack, both with roam from position, moving to channels and to tackle harder. Two pressing forwards on support, either side of an advanced forward on attack. Both of these have shoot less often and move into channels with the advanced forward on attack with take more risks and to tackle harder as extra instructions. Now the first test is going to be with Brighton. Let's see how we get on. Now we have finished in 6th place with Brighton. We didn't get sacked across the season, which is fantastic. And you know what, we only missed out on 5th place by a win. Looking at this, Everton have got Europa League qualification, as of Newcastle with Conference League, so we have just missed out on European football here. But 23 wins, 4 draws, 11 losses, a plus goal difference of 29. With the player stats, we're not involved for the goals, but Danny Welbeck is second for the highest average rating with 7.35. We're not involved in the assists, player of the matches, clean sheets, but there we are, Joel Veltman, top of the yellow cards list as well. Looking at how we did perform across the season, we scored the second most amount of goals with 81, 15 of these coming from corners. Very interesting to see with this Brighton team. We had the most shots in the league and the 8th fewest shots against as well. So as you can see, there is a disconnect between our attack and our defence. Best pass completion, we're not involved, nor for the most possession. Tackles made, 3rd for dribbles made though, with 723 across the season. Joint 6th with 13 clean sheets, and we're not even involved in the fewest conceded as well. So we scored the second most amount of goals, but we actually conceded quite a lot as well. Now looking at other competitions, we were knocked out in the quarter-final of the Europa League to Roma. In the FA Cup, knocked out in the 3rd round to Newcastle, and in the Carabao Cup, we're knocked out in the quarter-final to Brentford. Now, looking at how we got on, I know we lost 11 times, but are there any good victories or big losses here as well? And not really, although a fantastic start to the season. We didn't lose until we faced Manchester United at the end of October. A bit of a Halloween treat, or trick I should say there. And then we also followed that up with a loss 3-4 to Tottenham Hotspur, but we drew to Man City and we drew to Arsenal as well. Now, yeah, I think there's too many losses in this tactic here, but we are Brighton. What can we expect? Some good victories though, 3-0 against Wolves, a 3-1 against Luton, a 3-1 against Palace. Yeah, it's just very inconsistent if we have a look at it though. Although we finished off the season quite well with 4 wins out of the last 5 games. So yeah, not one to shout home about just yet, but we are Brighton and we have got Newcastle and Tottenham to test with as well. Now, João Pedro with 19 goals and 5 assists, topping our charts. Ansu Fati, 14 goals and 7. Evan Ferguson, 12 and 5, with Pascal Gross getting 11 and 17. And Welbeck, to be fair to him, he got 10 goals and 5 assists. Now we are going to move on to the Newcastle test. Can we beat 6th place? Let's find out. And we have beaten our Brighton test. We finished 5th with Newcastle, qualifying for the Europa League. 23 wins, 6 draws, 9 losses, so 2 losses less than the Brighton one. 37-point goal difference on there, and 75 points as well. Again, we're only 1 win away from Champions League football here with Newcastle. Now this is a nice one to see. Alexander Isak topped the goal scoring charts with 18 shots. Yeah, Nunes is joint top, but you know, our name's first there, so we are top. Average rating, we're not involved, nor with the assists either. Player of the matches and clean sheets, no Newcastle players there. Although we do have 2 on the yellow cards with Guimaraes with 10 and Kieran Trippier with 10. Both of those in joint first position. Now, looking at the stats across the season, we scored the most goals in the Premier League with 88, 10 of these coming from corners. We were 5th for most shots for, 8th for fewest against, pass completion and possession were not there. Tackles won, we're not there either, but we are joint 6th, 4 dribbles made across the season. Again, not there for clean sheets, 8th for fewest conceded with 51 across the season. So yeah, we scored the most and we conceded quite a lot as well. So again, there is a disconnect between attack and defence. But in the Carabao Cup, we were runners up and we lost to Leicester 2-1 in the final. Yeah, that's a ball dropped there. English FA Cup, we were knocked out in the third round to Norwich. And in the Champions League, we made it to the quarter-finals where we lost to Benfica. Now, in the schedule, let's see how we did perform in the Premier League. Obviously, we lost 2 less than Brighton. And it's actually quite a bad start to the season. We lost 4-2 to Man United. We beat Burnley 6-2, but then we lost 3-1 to Tottenham. We lost 3-1 to Villa and 2-1 to Brentford. But to be fair, if you look at the whole half of the season, a lot of wins have come in for this Newcastle team. A 4-0 against Bournemouth, a 4-0 against Forest, a 4-0 against Fulham and against Brighton as well. And we beat Tottenham 3-0 as well in January. And then, to be honest, look at that as well. We lost 4 of our last 6 games in the league. We could have done so much better. We could have finished so much higher if we hadn't had this blip here. But, you know, that is football at the end of the day. You're not guaranteed to win games. Alexander Isak, 26 goals and 5 assists across the season. Joe Linton, 17 and 9. Callum Wilson with 15 and 2. Almiron, 11 and 5. Anthony Gordon with 11 and 12. Now, the last test is going to be with Tottenham. We haven't got sacked yet from Brighton or Newcastle. Tottenham is also a team where I struggle to finish the whole season with a tactics test. Let's see how we get on. So we've had a 6th place finish, a 5th place finish, and a 3rd place finish with Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, what they would give to finish in the top 4 this season. 24 wins, 6 draws, 8 losses, a plus goal difference of 44 with 78 points on the board. Now, we're not involved in the goals, average rating, assists, player of the matches, clean sheets, but we are there. Oh no, sorry, we are there for the clean sheets. Vicario getting 19 across the season. Yellow cards, all 3 of our players are there. Udogie, Porro and Christian Romero as well. It's interesting seeing Vicario there with the 2nd fewest clean sheets on the system there. So looking at our stats, we scored the 3rd most amount of goals in the Premier League with 79. We had the most shots for, 2nd fewest shots against. We're not involved in pass completion, but most possession. We've made it onto this list finally. 53% average across the season, 7th place. Most tackles won, we're not involved, but we are top 4 dribbles made. 841, 150 more than 2nd place, Manchester City. We're 2nd for most clean sheets, and we're also joint 4th for the fewest goals conceded as well. In other competitions, we're knocked out in the 2nd round to Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup and the semi-final in the FA Cup to Liverpool. But a 3rd place finish is very nice to see, and let's see how we did perform across the season as well. Now, again, good start to life. A 2-0 victory over Manchester United, a 3-0 against Newcastle, 3-0 against Luton, a 4-1 against Brighton, 5-1 against Burnley. Very nice to see. 1 loss to Manchester City. Oh yeah, we beat Arsenal as well. So, North London derby. Well done, Tottenham, for that one. And then if we go further down, there are some losses that we shouldn't have lost on paper, really. Bournemouth, we lost 3-2. Newcastle, we lost 3-2. We lost 5-2 to Wolves. Disappointing there. 2-1 to West Ham. But we beat Liverpool last day of the season 2-1. We beat Sheffield United 3-0. Palace 5-3. Luton 3-0. Burnley 2-0. Brentford 4-0. So yeah, some goals have been scored with this tactic here. Heung-min Son, 16 goals, 4 assists. Maddison 14 and 12. Kulusevski 11 and 9. He's also injured as well. He was already injured at the start of the month though, so hasn't missed too much game time. And Christian Romero getting 8 goals and 1 assist. Now, all in all, very nice tactic by Vujevic, the 4-3-3 Attaccante. I still think the modern target man version 2 is the better one from Vujevic, but yeah, we actually made it through the whole season with Brighton, Newcastle and Spurs without getting the sack, and that is a big thumbs up from me. Now, if you do like the video, please let me know down below of any tactics you want to test out for you. Hit the like button and subscribe, and we've got some more videos over here as well. I'll see you on the next one.